This is a really big deal. So Harbor Freight has just released a true Leatherman Wave clone, and they did not hide it whatsoever. They went straight after Leatherman, saying that as compared to the Leatherman Wave, they weren't even trying to hide it. This is the closest version of a true Wave clone that we've ever seen from anyone. And the fact that you can walk into a store right now and buy it for $40, well, we have to talk about it. So let's get started. Now, a few years ago, we saw the Ozark Trail Multiforce, but it had some distinct differences from the Leatherman Wave that were definitely different, some of which were good, some of which are bad. This, on the other hand, this is truly a Wave clone with benefits. So there are some improvements over what you might find on a Leatherman Wave. We're going to do a comparison also with the Leatherman Wave. They have really, wow, I mean, they've really gone there. I'm quite surprised. Let me go grab my Leatherman Wave and let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, first off, we probably should do a quick weight comparison. So the Leatherman Wave is around 240 grams or 8.6 ounces, I believe, 8.5 on this scale. And this tool is coming in just above it. So it is almost identical in weight. In fact, this has a pocket clip, this one doesn't, so it might be slight difference there. But otherwise, this is damn near identical in weight. When we talk about the Wave clones we find on Amazon, they tend to be a little bit heavier, like around that 9.6 ounces, so almost an entire ounce heavier. So that's already a big difference. This also comes with a pocket clip. The Leatherman Wave does not come with a pocket clip, and there's some more distinct differences that I found when playing with it just for this brief amount of time. So the Leatherman Wave hasn't really changed much since it was released. Now, if you'll notice, there are bronze washers between the frame and the blade, but there is nothing between the blade and the pivot screws. And that's true on both sides of this. And there's nothing between the steel and the steel of the plier. Now, if you look here, there's a completely different story. So we have, let me show it a little bit better this way. We have bronze washers between the pivot screw, the blade. Once again, another bronze washer. We have a bronze washer between the frame and the plier head. We have a bronze washer on the other side. We have one. There's 6 on this side and 6 on this side versus the 2 in the Leatherman. And believe me when I say it really feels different right out of the box. I mean, it's very smooth. Well done. Yeah, and I'm gonna guess that this is actually 2 separate pivot screws with a barrel. It's possible the barrel could be captured. I don't know for sure. We're gonna have to take one apart at some point. Now, as far as the tool set is concerned on the outside, I guess we'll start there. We have a serrated blade here. We have a serrated blade also on the clone, but the difference is we actually have the pull cutter hook, which you get only on the Leatherman Charge, but we have it on this tool. It's literally a straight up upgrade. And not only that, we actually have a sharpening choil on the primary blade. These are in 5CR. And there is no sharpening choil on the Leatherman Wave. In fact, the Wave is well known for having pretty bad grinds, whereas this is actually pretty even, surprisingly. Not bad at all. The other thing that I want to point out, which really was a big surprise, is the lockup. So when you open up a Leatherman Wave, you'll notice that the lockup is at 100%, meaning that the lock bar goes completely over and touches the pivot screw. You can also hear it. There's a little bit of up and down play, and this is true for pretty much every Leatherman Wave and Surge that I've ever played with, by the way. Like, there's no exceptions. And I have literally 6 waves and 4 surges, I think. There's always a little bit of play, okay? Check this out. I mean, almost none. First of all, it's at 50% lockup. It comes in before it even touches the washers, which is pretty awesome. And there's no side-to-side and very, very, very little up and down play on the straight blade. Let's check the serrated blade. There's no up and down on this one, and it's once again at 50% lockup. I'm already impressed. In fact, this is better fit and finish than I've seen on the other clones, which that I didn't expect. Now we have the saw. The teeth here are very sharp and aggressive. It's exactly what I want to see, with the blades going all the way out to the end. It is tapered, which it should be. That means thicker at the teeth than it is the back, so it doesn't get trapped in the wood. That's also good. Now here is crazy. Here's something crazy. So it does have a diamond file and a crosscut. This crosscut is legitimately better than the crosscut on the Wave. It is. I'm about to open another one, so we're about to check that again, but holy moly, this crosscut is nice and aggressive. It's not as good as the one on the Arc, but it is still pretty damn good. And check out the teeth on this metal saw. Now, this could end up being a downside. Until we test it, we don't know for sure, but these are seriously aggressive. And by comparison to the Wave, they are quite a bit longer. So it's hard to know which one will be better. It could be that this will actually ruin the diamond file by flaking it off when you use it, or it could end up hold up very well. I don't know for sure. But on first glance, that is a pretty significant difference. Now, no movement on this pocket clip, which is great. That's also true with the Leatherman Wave, and the pocket clip comes off. Since we're here, why don't we try and see if they literally... Okay, it doesn't look like it's a direct drop-in. Okay, so that does not go backwards compatible. So this is a slightly different clip design. Now, while we're on the back side, they've changed the shape here, and they've added a glass breaker, which just free real estate. They just went ahead and did that. That's cool. And yeah, let's continue and open up the tool itself. We have on this side, we have once again the exact same tool set, identical to the Wave. We have a micro bit driver, which I have my doubts about. Ooh, sorry about that. I have my doubts about this bit driver, but we're going to try it. Maybe we'll try it on my glasses if I can actually see with them off. Hold on a second. Let me pull this out. Okay. I really can't see right now. This is not great. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bite. Okay, so the flathead works. I don't have a Phillips to test, but the flathead will definitely work if you have that. And then scissors, we need to test the scissors. Let me go ahead and find some paracords so we can do that. I'm probably gonna need my glasses as well. All right, so scissor test on this one. That's actually really pretty impressive. This is also Survivor cord, which has a copper wire in it. So it's an even more difficult test than normal. Why did it disengage, I wonder? Oh, maybe I didn't have it fully locked in. There we go. Pretty impressive. Let's take a look at the Wave. Now, I don't think I've used this scissor much, if at all. This was the one I used for modification way back when. Wave still performs well, so actually I would get, yeah, about the same. I would call it about the same. So both are working well. Not bad. The flathead or flatheads, without testing it, it's hard to say. And then on the other side, now this is really interesting. So we have the can opener. It is identical in shape and everything to what you'll find on the Wave. So they didn't even try to change it. And I prefer the V cutter, so I'm happy they at least did that part, because the U-shaped ones on many of the clones isn't as good. But check this out. Yeah, that's a Leatherman bit driver with a clone bit. Now this is using a magnet instead of a little spring that they have on the Leatherman Wave. There we go, over here. So there's a little bit different design. The security on the Leatherman is far better, far better. So this is probably my least favorite thing about the entire tool. It doesn't feel nearly as secure as I would like. And I'm not a huge fan of the Leatherman bit system in general. But here we are. I mean, this is quite literally the clone of the Wave, plus a slightly different cutting surface on the file, a hook on the back of the serrated blade, some additional washers, glass breaker, almost the exact same size, and at $40. This is a big deal. If basically we're only missing one thing. it doesn't do Harbor Freight much good to come out with this tool without coming out with a bit kit soon. They need a bit kit to go along with said multi-tool, because the bit kit for the Leatherman Wave, you know, like a pair of these, that's $32. Okay, so that's just a little bit cheaper than the entire tool itself. They might have been better off, in fact, going with a square Phillips on this one than going with that that bit kit, that bit system, unless they were going to offer this. That's going to be the real question. Are they going to offer this? And other question I have to find out is, are they going to function decently with it? I mean, technically, yeah. I mean, in fact, funny enough, I think the Leatherman bits actually are more secure in there than the one that they sold. There's more play on it. That's interesting. That's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, it seems like the bits that they had available are not as well tuned as the ones from Leatherman. But my point stands, without having a Leatherman, you know, equivalency for this, this is still really serious. It's really impressive, but it's still missing that very important component. They pulled these bit kits from the shelves of basically every store except Cabela's, and even REI doesn't have them anymore. So, yeah, what are they doing? I don't know. Like, that's a bit risky to have just that one bit and no way to replace it. So I'm curious to see how they fix that problem, or how they accomplish it, whether they're actually going to make their own equivalency bits. But, you know, I'm already quite impressed. So let me quickly go in here. I wanted to see how well this would work. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No problem. No problem. Okay. That worked great. Usually you should start it first. There you go. There you go. There we go. And then, yeah. So I want to pull this other one out. Wow, this might even be smoother than the first one. Yeah. Yeah, I think Leatherman should be concerned. But this is a common problem, so I just was curious. I fixed it on the other one. When you go to reach for this bit, it doesn't come out, and the reason is it's actually trapped under that little tab. What I had to do with this one, because I had the same problem, and now it opens freely, it's no issue. But before, I actually had to bend this straight a little bit. So, use the Leatherman Wave here real quick. We'll just do that little fix. And you want to be careful not to over bend it. You don't want to snap it off, because it is going to be, you can force that out. It's going to be delicate. Might be enough. There you go. Passes now without having an issue. So that was the only thing that I saw with both of these that was glaring as far as any issues. Other than that, it's basically a Leatherman Wave clone. Okay? And right now, with the fact, now these are custom cutters. I use the EOD cutters and I cut them down. But the cutters that are coming with Leatherman right now that have the little gaps, the replaceable cutters for Leatherman, I think, are more of a liability than they are a positive right now. And in fact, I prefer the Leatherman curl plier head right now to what is available with the other models, because it also makes it a little stronger. Just a real quick test. I was curious about something. This is 18. Shit, it's like dead on. It's almost exact. It's like, this is like 18 and a half. This is like 18 millimeters. Like, they didn't stray far. I'm telling you, this is really close. Like, really close. This is the closest, in fact, we've ever seen. And in some ways, they've done a damn good job on this. I'm actually very impressed. Wow. Now, I will say this. At least when you buy some of these clones on Amazon, you can potentially get like a 4-year assurance warranty, which will allow you to get replacements. But you're also not getting more than a 90-day return policy on or warranty on these Gordon multi-tools. So the Icon and the other sub-brands of Harbor Freight, they have a better warranty, but the Gordon ones, they only last for about 90 days. I don't know if that's going to be enough of a reason to prevent people from picking this up as a replacement for or a complement to a system they already have, because this basically taps into the same systems that Leatherman already has without any change. If Harbor Freight decides to do the surge equivalent of this and sell it at Harbor Freight, holy, that is going to be crazy. But even now, this is great. This is amazing that they were able to do this, and they just straight up went straight after Leatherman. You got to see this listing on Harbor Freight. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, as compared to Leatherman Wave at 120. Actually, that's not true because it's 125. You have to buy the pocket clip separately. I can't wait to hear what you guys think down below. I didn't think any of the retailers were gonna go this far, and Harbor Freight did it. You know, kudos to them, honestly. This is the 20-in-1 multi-tool, they're calling it, and this is the item number. I had to ask them. They hadn't seen it. The manager hadn't seen it yet. It was in the back, ready to get put on the shelves. If you want one, gonna have to ask and take a look at this on the website, see if it's in stock locally. Let me know if you get one and what you think. As always, thank you guys for your time, and we'll talk again soon.